Yesterday we have revised some of the topic of this chapter, chapter 3, fiber to fabric. Now today also we are going to revise some other topics of this chapter. So the first topic is rearing and breeding of sheep. So that on this topic already we have studied. So rearing of sheep means domesticating the animal. We can say that rearing means domesticating an animal by providing them food, shelter and health care. So here is rearing of sheep. Rearing of sheep means to look after the sheep by providing them food, shelter and health care. So which food we can provide them? Like we can provide them the mixture of pulses, jar, oil, corn, cakes and minerals to ensure good yield of wool. So this kind of food we can provide them for getting the good quality of wool. And in winter we can provide them leaves and grains and dry fodders. So these all are, we can say that rearing means domesticating an animal by providing them food, shelter and health cares. Okay, so next topic is breeding of sheep. Breeding means breeding is done to obtain animal with desired characters. These are then crossed to obtain new breed of the animals. We can say that breeding means the cross between two kinds of animals and to give birth to their young ones. So this means producing young ones. So this process is known as breeding. Okay. So next topic is sheep are reared in many parts of our country. We know that in our India, different parts of our country, sheep are reared. Okay, sheep are reared means domesticated for getting the wool. Certain breed of sheep have thick coat of hair on their body which yield good quality of wool in large quantity. Some of the breed of the sheep give us a best quality of wool. This we know. Here is a table. We can see that which kind of Indian breed give us which kind quality of wool and in which state of our India these quality of wool and these kinds of breed are found. So number one we can say the Lohi breed. Lohi means it is a type of a species of sheep and we can say the breed. So Lohi breed is found in Rajasthan and Punjab and we can get the good quality of wool. Rampur bush hair, we can get the brown fleece means brown hair from Rampur bush hair and it is found and this kind of sheep found in Uttar Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh. Next is Nali breed. We are using this kind of breed of sheep wool we are using for making the carpets and these quality of breed is found in Rajasthan, Haryana and Punjab. Next is Bakarwal. Bakarwal, this kinds of breed of sheep is found in Jammu and Kashmir and we are getting the wool for making the shawls. Marwadi, this is a coarse wool that we have already discussed earlier, that coarse and soft wool. So we are getting the coarse wool from the Marwadi breed of sheep and it is found in Gujarat. And then Patanwadi, for hosiery items we are making for hosiery items we can make by this kind of wool. These are also found in the Gujarat. So this is a table of the different types of breed of sheep and in which state of our country these kinds of breed are found. So in next I sent you the worksheet. This is the worksheet number 4 related to these two kinds of slides that I have shown you. So number first question is, what do you understand by rearing of sheep? Just now I explained you that rearing of sheep means the domesticating of an animal by providing them food, shelter and health care. Now the second question is, sheep are herbivorous. So which type of feed is provided by shepherd? That already we have discussed, that herbivorous, omnivorous and carnivorous. So you know that herbivorous means the plants that eat grass and all. So these are herbivorous animals and carnivorous means the flesh of other animals. These animals are carnivorous. Omnivorous means the animals which eat herbivorous and carnivorous. These are omnivorous. So sheep are herbivorous because just we have studied their food is leaves and the food items that we get from the plants. So these food items you have to write in this answer. Question number 3 is, name any 3 Indian breed of sheep which are reared for producing wool. So any 3 name you can write down, Bakarwal, Nali and any one of you can write down here. Bakarwal breed, Nali breed and Lohibred. This you can write down in this answer. Okay. Now the next one is, in which state of a country Nali and Bakharwal breed of sheep are found? So answer is here, Nali and Bakharwal. Nali are found in Rajasthan, Haryana and Punjab, and Bakharwal Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. Next is, name the breed of sheep which give us brown fleece. So which breed of sheep give us brown fleece? So brown fleece, answer is Rampur Bush Hair. Okay. And the next slide is, so this is the worksheet number 4 that we have completed. Now the next slide is, in this slide we will study about how to make wool from fibers. So that I already explained you this. In this process there are 6 steps. Okay, so we have to study the all 6 steps. So number first, how we can make the wool from the fibers. So number first step is shearing. Okay, so shearing means removing the hairs from the sheep's body along with the thin skin. Okay, so this process is known as shearing. So the fleece of sheep along with a thin layer of skin is removed from its body. This process is called shearing. So what we have to do at the first, when you want to make the wool, so what you want to do at the first, number first, the sheep we are reared, so we are domesticating. So the sheep, first we have to remove the hairs present on their body. So the removing of the hairs from the sheep body, this process is known as shearing. So first we have to do the shearing process if you want to make the wool. Okay. You know that with hairs we have to remove the top layer of skin of the sheep. So this shearing means when we are removing the top layer of skin with hairs, so this does not hurt any or harm the sheeps, because when you go to near, like here is written there, shearing does not hurt the sheep, just as it does not hurt when you get a haircut or your father shave his beards. So when we go to near barber, so when our haircut is there, it does not get any harm. Same thing, sheeps does not get any harm when we are removing the thin layer of skin with hairs. Okay. So another question, do you know why they are not getting hurt? Because the uppermost layer of skin is dead. Also the hair of sheep grow again just as your hair does. Okay, so when we are removing hair, after some days the hairs again grown up. So this does not, and uppermost layer is very dead, so this does not harm the sheep. Okay, now the first process means what we have to do at the first we have to remove the hair from the sheep's body. So this process is known as shearing. So first process, if you want to make the wool, what we have to do, number first we have to rear the sheep. Okay, after rearing, number first process is shearing. Shearing means we have to remove the hair from the sheep's body. Okay, first when we remove the hair from the sheep's body, then what we have to do, scoring. Scoring means the sheared skin with hair is thoroughly washed in tanks to remove grease, dust and dirt. So this is called scoring. Nowadays scoring is done by machine. Okay, so what you have to do, the second process, second is scoring, means when you remove the hair from the sheep's body, so these hairs you have to wash in tanks. Why we are washing the hairs? Because to remove grease, dust and dirt. So this process is known as scoring. So nowadays the scoring is done by the machine. So these are the two processes, shearing and scoring. Now number third step is Number third step is, here is not a scoring, we can say that sorting. So now the third step is sorting. Okay, so number first is shearing, number second is scoring, number third is sorting here. So sorting means the hairy skin is sent to a factory where hair of different textures are separated or sorted. Means after washing the hairs, we have to send these hairs on this hairy skin to a factory where different textures of hairs are separated or sorted. So different textures of hairs are separated, so this process is known as sorting. Okay, so third step is sorting. Now the fourth step is cleaning of burrs. You know what are burrs? Burr means the fluffy hairs. Fluffy hairs, these are present on the hairs. Sometimes we can see on our sweaters the fluffy hairs. So these fluffy hairs are known as burrs. Okay, so the hairy skin, some fluffy hairs are remaining there, so we have to remove these fluffy hairs. So these are known as cleaning of burrs. Okay, so the small fibers called burrs are picked out from the hair. So these are same burrs which sometimes appear on your sweaters. So the fibers are scoured again and dried. This is the wool is ready to be drawn into fibers. So now when we remove the burrs, fluffy hairs, then again we have to wash it, we have to dry it. Okay, now this wool is ready to drawn into fibers. So these are the 4 steps. Number first is shearing, number second is scoring, number third is sorting, and number 4 is cleaning of burrs. Now here is number 5th is dyeing. Now our fibers are prepared for making the wool. So now we have to dye it. We have to give the if you want to make the different colors wools, so we have to dye it in various colors. So when if you want to black, brown, and any, you know that the fibers can be dyed into various colors. As the natural, we are getting the natural fleece of sheep and got is black, brown, or white. If you want different colors, we have to dye in different colors. So the 5th step is dyeing. Then the 6th step is rolling. When you dyed it, then after drying, the fibers are, we have to straighten the fibers, then after combed and rolled into yarn. So we can make the yarn of the wool. So the longer fibers we can use for making the longer fibers of wool we can use for making the sweaters, and shorter fibers are woven into woolen clothes. So these are the 6 steps by which we can prepare the wool from the fibers. I hope you understand it. What are the 6 steps? Rearing, shearing, sorry, number 1 is shearing, scoring, sorting, here is sorting, cleaning of burrs, dyeing, and rolling. So these are the 6 steps. Here is the picture of the 6 steps. You can see here. Number first, what we have to do? Number first, we have to shear the skin. Okay, so shearing, scoring, these all are here. So you can make the wool from the fiber. Okay, so next is here is some important thing that the workers, those who are working in a wool industry, wool content, look at there. So they have a special kind of disease. This disease, sorter disease, we can say that. So this disease is known as anthrax. So look at there what is written here. People, those who are working in wool industry, sometimes they are affected by a bacterium called anthrax, which causes a fatal blood disease called sorter disease. Okay, so they have a sorter disease, and this sorter disease caused by a bacteria, this is known as anthrax. Okay, so this is a fatal blood disease. Okay, what do you mean by occupational hazard? Occupational hazard means a risk that is faced by workers when they are working in an industry. Occupational means an occupation. Hazards means they are facing some risk. So we can say that occupational hazard means a risk or danger faced by workers in any industry. So that kind of hazard is known as an occupational hazard. Okay. Next, here also I have sent you the worksheet number 5. Look at the worksheet number 5, question number 1. Why shearing of wool done in summer? Because we know that we have already studied that animals' body is covered with hairs, and hair keep them their body warm. So their body needs hairs in the winter season only. In summer season, if we are doing shearing, so they are not affected by any harmness. So shearing is done only in summer. Next is, what do you mean by shearing and how it is done? Shearing, what do you mean by it? Shearing means removing the hairs from the sheep's body with a thin layer of skin. This is shearing, and this can be done by machines. What are the main hazards of wool industry? Main hazards like sorter disease, like number 1 is anthrax. This is the mainly faced by the workers, those who are working in wool industry. Next is, write and explain the sequence of steps and processing of wool. So all the steps you have to write down and explain it. Shearing, scoring, then the third step is sorting, cleaning of burrs, dyeing, and rolling. These all you have to write down in this answer. Name a sorter disease caused by bacteria. Answer is anthrax. So this is the worksheet number 5. Okay, so that we have completed about the wool. What we have studied about the wool? Number first, what are the wool yielding animals that we have studied, which kind of wool we are getting, and which quality of wool the breeds of sheep we have studied, and where these are found in our country, this we have studied. Now the second type of animal fiber we have studied here. The second type of animal fiber is silk. First we have studied about the wool. So now look at the second type of fiber, silk. So we know that silk is obtained from the silkworm. So the rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is known as sericulture. Sericulture means rearing. The word rearing, it means domesticating of silkworm for getting the silk. Rearing of sheep means domesticating of sheep for getting the sheep. Wool, so this is rearing of sheep, and here is rearing of silkworm for getting the silk. This is sericulture. Now here the life history of silk moth. Okay, means how the silkworm, what is the life history and life cycle of the silk moth. So number first we can see here, the female silk moth lay eggs which hatch into larvae called caterpillar or silkworm. The larva feed on mulberry leaves and grows in size. Then it secretes fiber made of protein and weaves the fibers around itself completely to form pupa. Okay, so first what happened, the female silk moth lay eggs, okay, and then which hatch into the larva, and this larva is known as caterpillar, or we can say the silkworm. Okay, and this caterpillar feed which kind of food? Mulberry leaves, and grows in size, and then they secrete a fiber that is made of protein, and they weaves the fiber around itself completely, and what it form? It form pupa. So this covering is known as cocoon. Number first we can say that the female silk moth lay egg, it hatch, and which thing is coming out? Caterpillar. And this caterpillar grows in size by feeding the mulberry leaves. Then after it secrete a protein, and this protein weaves the fiber around itself. So these fibers, we can say that these fibers which it prepared around itself, this is known as cocoon. Inside the cocoon which it form? Pupa. The pupa then develops into a young silk moth. Okay, so means what is the third step? By pupa we can get the young silk moth. Okay, then silk yarn and thread is obtained from the cocoon, and from where we are getting the silk fiber? By the cocoon. Okay, the most common silk moth is the mulberry silk moth. So which is the common silk moth? Mulberry silk moth. There is a variety of silk moth. Okay, so we know that silk moth is also found in different varieties which look very different from one another, and silk yarn, they yield different in texture. Texture means some of the are very hard, these are known as coarse, some are very smooth, and some are very shiny. Okay, so different kinds of varieties of silk are available. So what are the different kind of silk moths? And we are getting different kind of silks. So these examples are tussar silk, moga silk, kosa silk. These are obtained from cocoon spun by different types of moths. So the most common silk moth is the mulberry silk moth. So the silk fibers from the cocoon of the moth is soft, lustrous and elastic, and can be dyed into different colors. So here is the picture of the life cycle of the silkworm. We can see here, number first, the female silk moth hatch. We can say that the female silk moth lay eggs. Okay, these eggs are hatched and comes out a larva. This is also known as a caterpillar. Then caterpillar eat mulberry leaves and grown in size, and this another stage is pupa, and this pupa secrete a protein like fiber, and that it move around itself, and make this protein like fiber they secrete, and they can covered by itself. So this covering is known as cocoon, and inside the cocoon this pupa develop, and developing moth, this is known as developing moth, and converted into an adult female silk moth. So this is the life cycle of silkworm. Okay, then next is from how we can get the silk from the cocoon. Just now we have discussed that we can get the silk from the cocoon. So how we can get? So number one, silk moth are reared, and then cocoon are collected to get silk yarn. So number first, if you want to get the silk, first what you have to do, number first you have to rear the silkworm. So means rearing means domesticating the silkworm. So the female silk moth lay eggs. The eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature. The egg hatch into larva called caterpillar. What you have to do, you have to rear silkworm, and female silkworm lay eggs. Then you have to warm the eggs at the suitable temperature. When the egg hatch into larva called caterpillar or silkworm, the silkworm are kept in a bamboo tray and feed on mulberry leaves and grown in size. After 30 to 40 days, the silkworm stop eating and begin to spin cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the silkworm develop into silk moth. Then after rearing of silkworm, what we have to do? The cocoons are collected and kept in sunlight, or we can boil it also, boiled or exposed to steam. So the silk fibers are, when we boil the cocoon, the silk fibers are separated out. So this process of taking out the fibers from cocoon is called reeling. Okay, rearing and the reeling, these two are the different words. Rearing means domesticating an animal, and reeling means taking out the fibers from the cocoon. So this is known as reeling. So by this process we can take out the silk from the cocoon, and this reeling is also done by machine. The silk fibers are then spun into threads and woven into silk clothes. Next slide. When the silk was discovered, okay, so that we have already discussed when it was discovered. So we don't know when it was discovered. That time was really unknown. So the exact time of discovery of silk is perhaps unknown. According to an old Chinese legend, the Empress Silunchi was asked by the Emperor Huang Ti to find the cause of the damaged leaf of mulberry trees growing in their garden. The Empress found white worms eating up mulberry leaves. She also noticed that they were spinning shiny cocoon around them. Accidentally, a cocoon dropped into her cup of tea and tangle of delicate threads separated from the cocoon. Silk industry began in China and was kept a closely guarded secret for hundreds of years. Later on, traders and travelers introduced silk to other countries. The route they traveled is still called the Silk Road. You know that how silk is discovered? That timing was perhaps unknown, but it was discovered in China. And how it was discovered means there was a mulberry leaves, so many trees of mulberries are that time, and the empress, we can say that according to all Chinese legend, the empress when she was taking the tea at the under the tree, suddenly a cocoon come down and dropped into her cup of tea. When she saw that the threads are separated out from the cocoon, these shiny things, then she discovered this is, then the Chinese discovered this shiny thing is a silk. So like that they have discovered the silk. So that route by which the silk was discovered and transported to the other countries, so traders and travelers, we can say that the route they traveled is known as the silk route. Okay, so this is how the silk was discovered. Okay, so now we have finished the chapter. In this chapter we have studied about the wool. Maximally we have studied about the wool and the silk. Okay, so you have to prepare how the wool is prepared, what are the processes of wool from making the fibers, and what is the discovery of silk, and how we are getting the silk. Okay, the life cycle of the silk moth. So these are the important points of this chapter. Now we have discussed about the exercise questions also. So these are the defining. You have to define what do you need: a cocoon, fleece, reeling, silkworm, silkworm, sorting, scoring, sericulture, and shearing. Okay, so cocoon, we know that the outer covering of silk moth is known as a pupa, is known as cocoon. Fleece are the hairs that are present on the animal's body. Reeling means for taking out the thread from the fiber. Thread from the cocoon is known as reeling. Silk moth, these already we have discussed. Now these are the exercise questions. So these I already sent you. Now first question, Baba, black sheep, have you any wool? So which part of the black sheep have wool? The hairy skin. And then what is mean by the white fleece of the lamb? White fleece means white colored or hairy skin. So these we have already discussed. Okay, so these are the exercise questions. This I have already sent you, and I think you have done in your notebook. So here I have completed So now we have completed this chapter, the revision and the recall video of this chapter. Now what you have to do, just revise it and just complete it, because the chapter is coming in your first unit test. So please revise it, and from the next year, whenever your chemistry on Monday and Tuesday, we will study the chemistry. So on Monday and Tuesday, from the next Monday, I am going to start the next chapter, acid, bases and salt. And after the 15th of July, again I will take the revision test of this chapter. So please prepare this chapter. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me. Okay, thank you.